Today, I'm going to talk about my middle school years from 4 to 8, grades 4 through 8. In the 1950s and 60s, when I was younger and going to elementary school, I didn't go to a separate middle school. I went to a Catholic school that started in the kindergarten and then went all the way up to the 8th grade, and then you went to high school. So my middle school years grades were 4 to 8, and those were interesting years, I would say. I was a preteen. I was very conscious of my body and my friends. All of that was very important to me. I had a lot of friends, and the school that I went to, we all the kids lived in the neighborhood. So we walked to school and we walked home from school. We didn't eat lunch at the school. Most of our mothers didn't work during the 50s and 60s. So we were able to go home for lunch and then return to school after we were done with lunch. So it was fairly simple, and there wasn't a whole lot of things going on. We didn't have a formal playground with all the equipment that kids have today. We had some swings, but mostly we just ran around, played kickball, those kinds of games. One of my favorite things to do was jump rope, and would come back after lunch and play in the schoolyard until the bell rang. And then and we played jump rope, and that was so much fun. Some of the teachers in school, like from grade 4 to 8, I don't remember them very well. We were taught by the Ursuline nuns in many of the grades, but we also had some lay teachers. I don't remember my 4th or 5th grade teacher, but my 6th grade teacher, I believe, her name was Mrs. Flood, and we all liked her. She was just a really nice, kind woman, and I enjoyed being in her class. 7th grade, I had a nun, and she was a doozy. She taught about all the negative things. As a Catholic, we were all doomed to go to hell if there was such a place, if we didn't abide by the 10 commandments. So I was glad to get out of her class. Went to the 8th grade, and we had another nun. I believe it was the principal who taught that class, and maybe another nun. And she was a doozy also. She mostly picked on the boys. The girls were pretty good, but the boys were always in trouble. And like even in times today, we had bullies in the class. And they picked on the weaker kids or the kids that were smart or that were kind of nerds. But I had a few really good girlfriends that I hung out with. And for the most part, I enjoyed my middle school years.